Welcome to Millions and Millions. I know what y'all been thinking. Where's this guy been at? We've seen him on Black Lightning. We've seen him over here doing lists. But where is the fights and the brutality that Hawk-A Tone is known for when it comes to combat sports? Well, I got a great show for y'all because I'm giving y'all the gift of tone. Bask in it? Bask in it? Nobody? Okay. Well, we got a good show for y'all tonight, and it's so much going on in combat sports, so I thought that I would stop by before Royal Rumble this weekend to give y'all some briefings on MMA World Wrestling, and of course, my favorite, boxing. So we have Errol Spencer Jr., who is the IBF welterweight champion. He fought Saturday against Lamont Peterson. It came to a 7th round TKO. So in the words of anybody that's been beat up in the hood, nah, fam. They literally, his corner asked him if he was all right. He said no. They threw in the towel, and it led to Spencer being now 23-0 in the welterweight, 147 pounds with 20 KOs. So this man is untouchable right now, and a lot of boxers in different weight classes are like, yo, this man is pound for pound the hardest hitter in the world. But that's kind of debatable when you go to the heavyweights. So let's talk about heavyweights real quick. Y'all remember a few years ago, the doping scandal in the heavyweight division, the Koscheck brothers that end up getting beat by this guy? This is Tyson Fury, right? He was the one that beat one of the Koscheck brothers, took his title, and had all this mess to talk, right? Take in mind, 2015, he was implicated in a steroid doping scandal. But they didn't prosecute him till 2016 after he beat the guy for the title. Then he's been suspended ever since. Now, he's been talking mad stuff saying, yo, I got the easiest fight now that I'm able to box again. And you know who he's trying to go against? Anthony Joshua. Now, let me explain something to you. When you got somebody, let me give you a little briefing on Joshua. Joshua is 20-20. And you know, when I say 20 for 20, I mean he's fought 20 professional fights and knocked out 20 people. Like, no losses at all. But after he did beat Koscheck for the title, just like Fury, who was stated previously, he did call out Fury. So right now, this is one of those things where it's like, oh man, this is becoming a grudge match. In all actuality, if you lose in a doping scandal, bro, like, don't come back talking stuff, man. Like, you a druggie. Just be a druggie, fam. This man is literally killing people. Now, take in mind, he's the unified heavyweight title, heavyweight champion, which means he holds all three, the WBC, the IBF, and the other one that's less important. WN, yeah. Yeah, whatever, unified. You see how much I care about that one, right? So, but Joshua is scheduled to fight this coming March against Joseph Parker. So the young lion gonna get back in the ring. Tyson Fury, that grudge match, I can't wait to see it, and I know that y'all more excited about it too. Because let's be honest, boxing make way more than MMA, right?
Yes.
Way more.
Yes.
Speaking of MMA, we have a Bellator weekend as well. So, I mean, like I said, it was a big weekend for MMA and combat sports. So this guy, that's Rory McDaniel, right? He is the new welterweight champion for Bellator. He put on a great show, great performance, and ended up winning by unanimous decision. And here's the thing. At what cost are you willing to win? Because this man climbed the mountain. But his career might be coming to an end now because of a gruesome injury from the leg kicks that he received and the fact that he broke his hand while fighting. He's on the list to be suspended for up to 6 months for medical conditions. So now, even though he's the one-time welterweight champion in Bellator, it's looking bad because he might have to vacate the title, depending on how gruesome the leg injury is. Because they say they haven't seen something this bad since seeing a pregnant woman. That's how big and swollen his leg is.
What?
It looks like there's a child, a small child in his leg. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I got it.
It's gruesome.
I got it.
I would put up pictures, but I'm trying to keep my job here at FCN. NSFW. Ain't that the thing?
No, just keep doing you, man.
Just keep doing me. Okay. Speaking of Bellator kicked off what I think was one of the best ideas for MMA in general, for combat sports in general. So they kicked off Grand Prix. Now, if you're an old school MMA fan like I am, I remember when I was a kid watching Pride and thinking, this is great. I mean, you used to watch the same person go through a tournament 3 or 4 times in that same night to show who's the undisputed champ and who wanted it more. I thought it was one of the best things in the world, and Bellator brought it back in a different sense. So right now, they have a Grand Prix going on to determine who's going to be the heavyweight champion. It's featuring Ryan Bader, Big Country Nelson. You have Frank Mir, Rampage Jackson, Chael Sonnen, Fedor, and Mac Matron. Now, take in mind, all of those people, except King Mo, who was the 8th person I didn't mention, are former UFC champions. So it is a great thing. Now, take in mind, the first match happened over the weekend. Well, we seen the former middleweight Chael Sonnen go against former lightweight Rampage Jackson. So, of course, Rampage came in heavier, but it came down to who wanted it more, with Chael Sonnen winning by unanimous decision. As I've always said, finish the fight. And size really don't matter ever since Royce Gracie came and showed y'all what Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is about. And we had people who innovated the game, like Randy Couture, who used to be a trainer for Chael Sonnen. You didn't know that fact. Hit you with some info right there. So we've had a lot of things going on, and one of the big things was UFC 220 that happened over the weekend. Now, I hate this guy. I can't stand him. I think he's a really bad champion. He's a really good example, just a bad champion.
Really?
Yeah, I can't stand the guy. I just can't stand the guy. But DC, Daniel Cormier, decided to announce that by April, I believe it is. Yep. Actually, March 19, 2019, he will be hanging up his gloves officially.
Good.
As you probably don't know, guys probably don't know, he is actually 38 years old. He's a very big veteran in the game. He's great with his wrestling, striking, etc. And he had a very dominant performance over and the Revolution's gonna like this. The guy's name is Vulcan. So yeah. I can't pronounce his last name, and I don't want him coming to beat me up because he's a light heavyweight. I'm a light heavyweight. I would probably lose though because he got better training. He pays for his training, so I'm not gonna even get there. But he had a very dominant performance over the weekend and destroyed them. As his birthday is actually March 20th, so he's decided he's gonna put his gloves up next year on the day before his 40th birthday. I hope to see you in 2 or 3 more matches if we can get you in that time frame. It's hard, I know, with body healings and timing and Dana White messing up schedules. But we do, even though I don't like you, I respect you, and we appreciate everything that you brought to the fight game. You are a man among men, even though you can't beat John Jones. Chris Cyborg.
That was all backhanded. I don't like you, but I respect you. And you keep getting your ass kicked to both shows. That was so backhanded.
It was backhanded, but it's true. It's facts.
It's facts.
Chris Cyborg announced over the weekend that they're in big talks for a super fight between herself and Amanda Nunes for UFC 226, which is coming this July. What is that to say? Cyborg's gonna kill her. Like, they're both Brazilian, they're both strikers, everything, but Cyborg hasn't lost in 10 years, people. Like, okay.
You just killed my man for doping. And Chris is a doper, man. Chris couldn't even come to UFC to make that UFC money because she couldn't stay off.
That's true. That's true. I'm expecting a very good fight. It's just for me, Amanda Nunes had a very dominant win over Holly Holm. I think it was it wasn't about knockout. She didn't knock Holly Holm out. No. So, but Cyborg had a did you see the reconstruction of Holly Holm's face? Y'all seen it. Go Google it. She looked like Quasimodo when Cyborg was done with her. It was scary, the kind of punches she was able to take, but she has a chin. So this is slated for a July match, and I can't wait to see it. I think it's gonna do some really good numbers, not the numbers that Ronda did. Not the numbers like that, but it is gonna do some good numbers, and I do want to see something. I want to see some striking. I want to see some knockouts. But to me, it's still weird because Cyborg did call out Megan Anderson after her last fight with Holly Holm. I want to know what happened with that. I know what happened with that. Somebody wanted the big check, and he gonna push for the big check any chance he get. I ain't mad at you. Get your money, dog. So in the WWE news, Raw 25 kicked off this past Monday, 2 days ago, and we had one of the weirdest cryptic messages The Undertaker has ever given. As y'all know, Undertaker did lose last WrestleMania to Roman Reigns. He came out and, me paraphrasing, he named off all the people he's beaten throughout the years since the first time he was on Raw, and he said something similar to, "This is where you all will rest in peace." It sounded to me like a passing of the torch to the next generation. And the person who's going to lead that generation is him. This guy. The Miz. Because he won the Intercontinental time for almost record-breaking 8 time.
No, record, I think it's tied.
He's tied with Jericho.
I think. Don't quote me on that.
We're gonna fact check it. The Miz just came back. He just re-won the title from Roman Reigns, which was a pretty good match, even though he did win dirty. Listen, y'all can say what y'all want about the Miz. I think this man is phenomenal. I think he puts on great shows. And if you go back, just keep going back on your WWE network. There's nobody with a longer reign in history. He doesn't get injured. He shows up every day and he performs. And not to mention, he has some of the best movesets that he can hit from everywhere. I love The Miz. I think the promos are great. Congratulations on your new coming baby. Congratulations on your new show. And hopefully, since they did announce that he is going to be in the Royal Rumble, hopefully this will be a chance to get him the Intercontinental title and the Universal title.
So fact check real quick. Chris Jericho has the most reigns at 9. The Honky Tonk Man has the longest at 454 days. So I think what's gonna happen is, I think they're gonna put the Miz maybe at 10 times and make him officially the greatest
Intercontinental and if you look at our previous Millions and Millions, I've said that multiple times. When it's all said and done, he's gonna be the greatest Intercontinental champion that ever lived. Thank you, Miz. You deserve it. You deserve it.
You deserve it.
So, moving on, we did see another similar passing of the torch as we seen D-Generation X, which was known for its crazy antics back in the day. The tank, the suck it, the cross chop, everything come into the ring with the Razor Ramon, which was a big. So we got D-Click with DX, and who they call out? The Balor Club, Bullet Club. And you actually seen that Triple H cut a great promo that said, you know, we're going to be here for the next 25 years, setting tones. And, you know, with Balor out there, it actually showed that we might be actually seeing something going on as far as Bullet Club integrating into the WWE. Now, if you guys didn't catch it a few weeks ago when Bullet Club first reunited to go against the Shield, certain people were mentioned that you probably didn't catch on. Probably like Bad Luck Fale, who's the underboss. He was one of the main people that started it. And then we had Tama Tonga. They have mentioned him. So let me be honest. If Tama Tonga come over there, the Gorillas of Destiny with they brothers, bro, tag team division. I want to see the Usos versus the Gorilla of Destinies. Even though they cousins, they have put on some of the best matches in the world, tag team wise. What just happened?
What just happened? Oh, you set up your...
I don't know, it's tripping. So in the end, they end up all too sweet not to beating the Revival, which let me say this. They just buried the Revival.
Yeah, they did.
They buried. Now, I did not like that. I did not like that. Now, if you guys remember, they did that same thing to the Ascension, who they were pushing heavy. Yeah. But then you had all these teams come out, put their finishers on them, and put them down for the count. Hopefully the Revival can find a good angle to come back up from this, but sometimes the recovery is way worse than the actual injury. So, Revival, y'all are in y'all thoughts. We hope that y'all don't get buried.
Did you just say the in our thoughts, baby? Because
obituary. Obituary.
That's funny, man. No, seriously though, Tone, I'm gonna be very honest with you. I thought that all of those old, out of shape, drugged out veterans coming back and putting a finisher on these up and coming guys, I don't think that they're so over that it wouldn't matter.
Right.
I think that moving forward, you really have a problem with fans believing
that your legitimacy of your wins, because you have to. When they bring up certain talent, like on SmackDown, Bobby Roode, they had him go against Dolph Ziggler. When's Dolph Ziggler had a big win, and having him win the United States title and then vacate, it was like, dude, okay, whatever y'all gonna do, we'll see you at the Rumble, Dolph. Hopefully. Now we talk about my afterthought. Recently on Monday, it came out. News broke that Enzo Amore was suspended pending investigation, basically because he's accused of a rape charge. Tuesday, it came back that they had reached. They fired him. I'm not even finna call. They fired him. We know they fired him. You know they fired him. Some certain dirt sheets that I read said that it's because he didn't come forward beforehand to talk about and tell them about what was going on is the reason for his release. But accusations mean a lot. But we also have to remember that we're in a country where you're supposed to be innocent till proven guilty. And I wish everybody Godspeed with figuring out this situation. And I wish the woman who went through this situation closure. And I hope that she can get past this. But I want to talk to y'all about something serious. this guy, right? You see him, right? What do we think of him as now? Because he's tainted. We think of him as a rapist, right? He was a violent rapist at that. But you know who y'all don't think of like that? This guy. Now, this is Pat Patterson, Hall of Famer, first Intercontinental title holder. And he was also accused of raping young boys multiple times. So with that being said, I want us to get to a point where we understand women aren't just being raped here too. Men and young men are being molested as well. And in the words of the Reggie Mathis, keep that same energy, fam. Keep that same energy. For all the outrage you show towards Enzo, you give to this guy as well. Because there have been multiple people come forward and accuse him of ruining their life through rape, through molestation, and through harassment. Well, I'm Hawk A. Tone. Y'all have a great night. And this has been Millions and Millions.
Tell me when to see you for
you know what? I'm sorry. It got kind of sober here in the studio.
It did.
Don't forget to tune in. First of all, tonight, as we go over the crime story, American Crime Story, the murdering of Versace, and Trezenae's going to be here. The Revolution's going to be in the studio. It's going to be a great show. You don't want to miss it. And if you haven't forgot, Royal Rumble is this weekend, baby. So we're going to be talking NXT, which the takeover is Saturday. We're going to be talking the Royal Rumble. We're going to be talking the Women's Royal Rumble. And we're going to be talking a lot of things, wrestling and MMA.
The
whole show, baby.
We're going to be
the whole run through. So y'all come here, you like, you share, you subscribe, you tell your mom about us, you tell your dad about us, you tell your cousin about us. You don't tell your Uncle Clyde because, Clyde kind of weird. I don't like all that stuff going on. Look, but tell everybody about us. Like, share, subscribe. Come back here at 9:30 sharp. I said sharp, didn't I? Ish.
Yeah.
Ish. Well, I'm going to get written up again. Don't you be telling people we going to be on time. But we'll see y'all tonight. We'll see y'all this weekend. And thank you for tuning in.